The showdown continues on Capitol Hill. Budget Director Mick Mulvaney facing tough questions from Democratic leaders over President Trump's budget plan, but he says the rhetoric on the left is not helping the debate.
Republicans care about poor people. Republicans care about kids. Republicans care about the elderly, just like many Democrats care about national defense. And this rhetoric, this demagoguery just doesn't help the debate at all.
Bob Cusack is the Hill Editor-in-Chief. Wow. I mean, whether or not you agree with him, if you stand him next to other Republicans, he's a really good way of articulating the point of view for regular people, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think absolutely, Melissa. I think that Mulvaney is one of Trump's best surrogates. He was taking heat, though, throughout this week from both sides of the aisle. And listen, I mean, people forget that the president proposes a budget, but as Congress has the power of the purse, and they're going to be the ones crafting it. They're looking at Trump's budget. They're going to use some stuff, and they're going to discard a fair amount. But Mulvaney, I think, he's respected. Remember, he's a former member of the House, very conservative, so he's respected by a lot of the members in the House Freedom Caucus.
Yeah, but he has such a great way of phrasing it. You know, we don't measure compassion by how many people are on food stamps. We measure it by how many people we lift off the program. And these are very simple ideas. Why has it been so hard to get Republicans to say it so clearly?
Well, I think the party has had some difficulty in that area, and that it is good to, I think, say, hey, wait a minute, you know, just throwing money at some of these programs does not necessarily solve the problem. And remember, we're approaching $20 trillion in debt, so that's got to be also factored in. And this White House wants to balance the budget. It's going to be very difficult to do that within 10 years, though.
Okay, let me turn you towards health care, because we're in the CBO. Do you actually see the smoking gun that's going to coincide with all the left's rhetoric that we keep hearing? What do you think? Where is that?
Well, the CBO report got a lot of attention. It was newsworthy, but it really, you think about it, it wasn't much different than the first CBO report. And if you talk to Republican senators who are crafting a very different type of bill, Bill Cassidy called it today yesterday's news, because the Senate bill is going to be very different. So without a doubt, it's something Democrats are ratcheting on because of the uninsured issue. But at the same time, premiums on Obamacare in many states, not all, have gone up significantly.
Yeah. Meanwhile, new faces emerging at the White House as speculation grows that President Trump may be shaking up his team upon return from his 9-day trip. Bob, what do you think about that? I mean, the buzz is that you haven't seen as much of Sean Spicer when you get back and you're in the press room. Yeah. Who are you really going to see? What are you hearing?
Listen, I think there have been a lot of rumors. Remember that Priebus was going to be gone, Spicer was going to be gone, Bannon was going to be gone. They're all still here. I do think something is coming, but it's unclear what. One of the things that I definitely think is going to be changing is how the White House communicates, because the president himself gave the White House a C/C+ on how they're doing messaging. So that is, you know, that's something he needs to change. He sees the poll numbers. He's obsessed with polls. They're not great. They're, you know, definitely under 50% no matter what. So I think you're going to see how this message is on tax reform and other initiatives. That's going to change.
Bob, you're wonderful. Will you come back?
He is.
We love having you. Please come back.
Thank you,
all right.
Melissa.
Thank you, my friend.